Ukrainian officials are assessing the damage done by a massive cyber attack on government servers. The U.S. has condemned the attack and vows to help the investigation. The hack comes as Ukraine faces a potential invasion by Russia. Some Ukrainian officials feared this type of cyber attack prior to Russian military action. I would like to bring in CBSN technology reporter Dan Patterson for more on this. Dan, thanks for joining us. So what do we know about the full extent of this attack, and what does an attack of this scale and magnitude mean for a country like Ukraine?
Hi, it's good to see you. So the Ukrainian government servers were hit with this pretty large cyber attack overnight. This saw government sites defaced, including the homepage for the foreign ministry. It temporarily displayed a message. It was kind of a warning to the Ukrainian people. Let me read it from my notes here. It said, be afraid and expect the worst. So kind of chilling there. The attack also appeared to consist of what are called DDoS. That's a distributed denial of service. It's a fairly simple targeting attack designed to do exactly this, which is take websites offline.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is known for using hybrid tactics like attacking computer systems and energy grids, and mostly prior to like a ground assault. So is this type of an attack common for Russia? And if so, how might this hack be a pretext for a full-fledged invasion?
Yeah, so according to the information that we have now, this is very different than attacks we saw in 2015, 16, and 17 conducted by Russia, designed to target Ukraine's critical infrastructure, the power grid. This is a very different type of attack. This is, according to sources who I spoke with early this morning, designed as a show of force. But let me say for the record that we don't have concrete evidence that Russia was involved. Now, it's fairly likely, because of the reasons you enumerated there, that, look, hey, this type of attack, preparing the battle space using cyber, is fairly common, not just by the Russian government, but by a lot of governments. They have, however, Russia has, however, executed cyber attacks immediately, or at least in the span of a few weeks, preceding kinetic attacks. There is also the ties to, or at least the behavioral ties to, a group called Sandworm. They are part of Russia's GRU, and they're known for doing kind of chaos-designed hacks, where they do defacements as opposed to the more technical critical infrastructure targeting attacks. So once again, we do not have evidence that Russia was involved, at least at this point, but we have a lot of circumstantial and behavioral hints that they might have been involved.
Is this meant just to throw them off? I mean, is there any real impact this kind of chaos has on their defense
Yes.
initiatives?
Well, look, I mean, there's two questions in there. First, could this be designed to throw people off the trail? Yes, absolutely. I don't know that that's the case right here, but we do know that in cyber, attribution is really hard, because all sorts of threat actors use misdirection to kind of throw us off the case. So we need to be very careful when it comes to attribution. Now, look, this is something that Putin does do, or at least allies of Putin does, and it's fairly likely that they had some sort of involvement here. Cyber is the new weapon of war. It is a serious and devastating, or has the potential to be a devastating weapon. This isn't just defacement. This is saying, hey, we are in your systems, and we can do a heck of a lot worse.
Wow. Well, in a rare cooperative effort, the U.S. and Russian officials have shut down the Russian hacking group REvil. What more can you tell us about that joint operation? And why was the U.S. after this particular group of cyber criminals?
Well, REvil, or Resident Evil, because a lot of that hacking group were fans of the video game Resident Evil. R-Evil conducted some of the largest ransomware hacks in history over the last year, and law enforcement all over the world, including the United States and our partners in Europe and even in Moscow, had motivation, significant motivation, to take this group down. Look, these were not actors of Putin. They were perhaps had an affinity towards Moscow, and for a long time they were allowed to operate in Moscow. But look, we're still learning information about what happened here. But one of the reasons that perhaps Moscow and the United States collaborated on this, at least speculatively, is that these groups are generally permitted to carry out kind of nuisance hacks like ransomware, as long as they don't raise too much of a stink. And we saw that the scale at which R-Evil was successful through 2021 was too much for the Kremlin or for Moscow. And so it is one reason that cyber experts are speculating that our two governments collaborated here.
All righty, Dan Patterson, thanks for giving us the update and all the specifics.
Good to see you.